Hello and good morning children. कैसे हैं आप सब? I hope you all are well there and taking up your these online classes regularly. Okay, please continue to do so and do your work regularly as I have always said. Those who haven't sent the work, please send it soon. Okay. Now today we are going to do chapter 7th, that is application of ICT. Okay. Now let me tell you the full form of ICT. ICT stands for Information Communication and Technology. Okay. So what is the application? The computers, the internet, all these jointly make ICT. And what is the application of ICT in our today's real life? So this chapter is going to tell you about that. All right, let us see what is there in the next slide. Okay, now as you can see it here, definition: information and communications technology is the key today, and various technologies that help in communicating the information has been applied in various sectors of life. Now what do you understand by this? Wherever you are seeing the use of computers, the internet, means all these related to information and communication technology, how it is helping in various sectors of our life. This lesson is going to teach us about all those aspects. Some of the uses of ICT has been summarized here, like e-government. We know various government services are given through internet, our passport making or our ration card making, your Aadhaar card. You are getting it done through various centers located at various places. We call them e-mitra or some other name at different states. E-health, now you have electronic health, you have various apps, various websites that provides you with health services over the internet. E-education, you all know it very well by now what e-education means. There are so many apps and websites and very online methods that the schools are following now because of this corona pandemic, that they are sending you video lessons or live classes on apps like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So these all collectively make your e-education or electronic education. E-governance, again e-governance, your government doing giving you various services using the net and computers. So what are the advantage? The speed. You all know earlier that we have to go to the government offices, we have to fill up some forms, and then it used to take some time, we have to go there again and again. So this used to make the speed of our work very slow. So now because of online services, the speed of work has become very fast. The cost is low because we do not have to go there again and again. The paper cost is saved, the fuel cost is saved. Everything is done on internet and on online. Transparency means you can track your work, that you have submitted some application. Many websites updates you that where your application has reached and where is the process gone up to so far. Okay, so you can track it. Transparency is there. Accountability means the person who is handling that your application or your work, they are held accountable, because you can know that at which place or which department your work has been stopped, or your work there has been a delay in your work because of one reason or another. So you can check through e-governance. So yeah, these are the different fields that we can see the uses of ICT. Okay, now let us see what are the benefits of e-governance. Greater convenience, cost reduction, the same points that are said here, increased transparency, less corruption and revenue growth. Now, Digital India program. You must have been hearing this term since quite long now after this government came. It is laying much stress on Digital India program. Now, you know word digital, it always stands for something related to computers, because in computers the information is in digital form. This government wants that people should learn to make use of computers in as many fields as possible. Much of the work, or we should say majority of the work, should be done on computers, on using the internet, because of all the benefits that we saw in the earlier slide. So it is a program to prepare India for a knowledge future with focus on making technology central to enabling change. So टेक्नोलॉजी का ज्यादा से ज्यादा यूज किया जाए, आपके सारे काम जो अब तक आप ऑफिस जाके करवाते थे वो नेट के थ्रू हो, उससे स्पीड इंक्रीज होती है और दे आर बीइंग प्रूव्ड लेस कॉस्टली. It's a campaign launched by Government of India in order to ensure the government services are made available to citizens electronically by improved online infrastructure and by increasing internet connectivity or making the country digitally empowered in the field of technology, like eMitra of Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, you have centers known as eMitra. You go there, there you can do all your work related with the government, like making of passport, making of ration card, or some various certificates like birth certificate, etc. Or you can also apply for various things like if somebody has passed away, you can apply for death certificates, or your Aadhaar card if you want to make some change in the Aadhaar card or you want to get it issued. All these works can be handled through eMitra. 9 pillars of Digital India are broadband, public internet, information, early harvest, universal access, IT jobs, IT for jobs, e-Kranti and e-governance and electronic marketing. So all these collectively make the 9 pillars of Digital India. Now what is e-commerce? E-commerce, as you know very well, now you can buy and sell the goods over the internet, right? You must have heard about the sites called Amazon and Flipkart, etc., where you can purchase various things, and like sites like OLX where you can auction your things or sell your things. So how the chain is formed? Trading via internet involves mobile commerce. Electronic fund transfer means you transfer money electronically. You are not paying any cash. You transfer money through your bank account electronically. Supply chain management, internet marketing, etc. See, a person here, suppose he puts an order, the products are selected, the bank issues the payment after his consent. From warehouse, the goods are delivered and it reaches to the customer. This is the e-commerce chain. Now, what are the advantages of e-commerce? Okay, some advantages to organizations. Organization means the companies, you can say, or the establishments. Easy and low cost expansion because of internet and everything is going on online. So you do not have to put up large hoardings or advertisements, or you have to purchase shops everywhere. You can have a warehouse that can cover a particular city or an area. So it is easy and low cost expansion. Paperwork is reduced and improves your brand image. Now, definitely, if you are having an online presence, it improves your image that this company must be of good reputation or good in quality because it is present online on internet also. Now to customers, what is the benefit to us? हमको क्या फायदा है? 24/7 you can do purchase. 24/7 means 24 घंटे आपके लिए एक तरह से शॉप ओपन है नेट पे. You can select the items and you can purchase the items. You can get more discount. More discount is offered by companies because of competition. सोसाइटी को क्या एडवांटेज है? Less cost and less traffic on roads because the people are not going to the shop, they are not going to the showrooms or the malls, so the cost that they are catering for traveling, okay, because when you travel you have to purchase fuel, your petrol expenses are there, and you have less traffic on roads because more and more people are now purchasing through internet. Easy government services and more reach. Because of internet, the government services can reach even up to the remote village where earlier it was not possible because of lack of transport or communication. Now some disadvantages are there. Technical disadvantages, like many people are still not familiar with the use of internet. They cannot handle computers. They don't know, have the knowledge of internet and websites. Plus lack of system is there. Network issues are there. At remote villages you don't get good healthy speed of network, so such technical issues are there, like hardware, software, etc. Non-technical issues are also there, like initial cost and time due to changes. You have to implement some changes, so initially your website creation, etc., it takes time and costly. Trust issue is there because you are not seeing anyone. When you go to a shop, you see the shopkeeper, you talk to him, the personal contact is developed, but in this online method, you are not seeing anybody, you are purchasing from a website. So trust issue, you do not trust it so easily. Lack of touch and feel. When you purchase something, like for example, I purchased some clothes. In the real shop, you go there, you can see the texture of the cloth, you can touch the cloth, you can even do the trial of it. But online, you cannot do the trial, you just have to trust the measurements that they have put and you have to purchase the goods online. Now what is internet banking? Internet banking allows you all the transactions that we do in a bank. Like what we do in a bank. You deposit money, you withdraw money, you transfer fund to somebody. So all these operations are done through internet. You need not go to a bank again and again. So this is internet banking. It allows you to conduct all bank transactions online. So it is the use of electronic means of transfer funds directly from one account to another rather than by check or by cash. इसके क्या benefit हैं? Again the same benefits, easy and lower cost because you are not going to the bank again and again. You are doing all the operations sitting at your home. 24/7. It is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It is never closed. You can transfer money anytime you want. It's safe and allows tracking also. Now what are the precautions? Some precautions are you should never share your password with anybody. Okay, remember children, if you are having some password for your internet banking account or you can say some of your accounts that are sensitive, you should not reveal that information to anybody and keep changing your password. After every, you can say 10 days, 15 days, you should keep changing your password. So even if somebody has guessed or seen your password, they will not be able to misuse it. सेट ट्रांसफर लिमिट, आप लिमिट सेट कर सकते हैं कि मैक्सिमम कितने अमाउंट का ट्रांसफर एक चांस में होना चाहिए. लाइक you can say 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. So even if somebody takes guesses your password or sees your password, he will not be able to transfer more than that amount. Don't use net banking at public cafe. Remember this, you should never use the net banking at internet cafes because there might be a risk of hacking, or you can say people might have installed some hacking softwares there. So when you type your password there, there is a chance that it can be stolen and somebody can store that software and password, and later they can use it for some wrong means. What is e-learning? The method that we are using nowadays for teaching is called e-learning. On internet, through websites, through YouTube, or through video lectures, you can say through your PDF files. All these collectively forms e-learning because you are not going to the regular classes. You are learning your lessons on internet using computer or using mobile phone. Okay, this is a new method, but this is the future. You have to get used to it. And I feel after some time you will appreciate and you will get used to it and you will be more comfortable with it. What are the benefits? Cost effective and time saving. You can see the videos anytime you want. There is no time restraint that you have to be at school at that particular time. Anytime you can see the video, you can see them again and again. Like in real class, if you are absent someday or you miss a class, then you miss it. But because of these videos, you can see them again and again and you can see them anytime you want. Some disadvantages are there, like they are technology dependent and knowledge of internet has to be there. But because these features in city, most of the children, they are familiar with internet and they are using it quite comfortably. And I hope that in due course of time, even it will reach up to our villages. But it is unsuitable for certain trainings like practical knowledge, etc. Okay, so this was all about today's topic. I hope you have understood it well. In case not, please revise it, see the lecture again, see the video again. And again, I ask you people to keep sending your work regularly. Don't let it pile up because whenever the school opens, you have to do this work. All right. So it is better if you keep on doing it regularly. Don't go outside unnecessarily. Stay home and stay safe. Take care of yourself and your family members. Okay, children. See you in the next lecture. Thank you all.